I don't see poetry as a form of therapy, but I do see it as a way of expressing emotions, sharing insights, and building understanding about what people may be suffering. The poet, such as myself, might not have direct experience of hardship, but can be sensitive to the plight of others. I first wrote a poem when I was 12, as far as I know, because my mother kept it. And I wrote some rather bad poems at university about relationships. And then during my career, I wrote a few which got published in internal British Council magazines. And when I retired, I published a short pamphlet myself called A Working Life. And the first poem I'll read you is about Iraq. Iraq. I don't die every day, but a little part of me does, seeing those pictures of children in dusty streets, in desert camps, who have fought their fight and lost as we have lost. I'm married to a Sudanese academic, and I've been visiting Sudan since the 1970s, but I've never lived there. Of my 3 published poetry pamphlets, which I've got here, and if you're interested, come and see me afterwards, 2 are about Sudan, and 1 is about refugee journeys seen from the perspective of children, and that was the collaboration with the Suffolk artist Sula Rubens. And in my poems, I show empathy for the struggle that people face, whether they're citizens of Sudan or refugees crossing Europe. Here's a short poem from my pamphlet, Sleeping Under Clouds, which suggests companionship has the power to save or heal a child who has suffered trauma. What's in a name? His name, Fadi, means saviour, a strong name to give to a child. Who knows what he may face? His cat, Aleppo, tells of a city left behind, its streets empty, homes ground to dust. They save each other, boy and cat, feeling the comfort of connection, a laugh, a purr, a stroke of luck. They have the same outlook. They fend for themselves. You can see it in their eyes. I'm also going to read a couple of poems from my latest pamphlet, Once There Was Colour, which charts a family holiday in Khartoum in Christmas 2022, before fighting broke out there in April 2023. And the second half of the book is about the escape of my husband and family from the crisis. I'm sure they and others in many parts of the world at the moment have suffered and continue to suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And for me, writing about those experiences, even at one remove as an observer, helps me process the emotional impact. 1 month after fighting broke out. I fear the next time I see you, you'll look much older, your hair white, lines on your face deeply engraved. Weeks of listening to bombs and gunfire in the streets, the strain of knowing steps forward have been destroyed. The wash of turbulent waters inundates borders with South Sudan, Egypt, and Chad. Your days of unexpected confinement in a brother's house, safer than the difficult journey to get out. Hibiscus Dream. I am wired to expect happy endings, but none is in sight. I've always been a cup half full person, whereas your cup is half empty. With the situation as it is, little help reaching anyone, hospitals closed, food scarce, electricity cut, it's hard to be cheerful. I wish I could magic up jugs of carcade and bring them to your table. Such a calming rose-red tea. We could share a cup or two. Picture everyone safe. More recently, with the support of an Arts Council grant, I've been writing about mothering and mother-daughter relationships. I've just become a grandmother. And this included my own relationship with my mother, who had dementia. And one of 4 siblings, I was the only daughter and took on the main caring role, supporting my mother. She got used to being in a care home and struggled with her memory. Writing about her dementia was a way of coming to terms with that condition. I think it also formed a part of an extended grieving process, as I was losing the person she used to be, although I was lucky that she always remembered me. and recognise me. I feel that my presence by her side offered her a sense of healing. So I will read 3 poems about that, keeping in the sort of theme of healing. Interlude. You used to love listening to your radiogram as you painted. Now the pathways are no longer there. It's difficult for the music to reach. Art magazines with too much colour you find blinding, but you enjoy our daily pastime of creating collages from newspaper photographs. Pictures of the sea at Shingle Street, sheepdogs working a flock, kittens toying with a ball of wool, a murmuration of starlings rising above distant trees. I talk you through each choice I've made. I don't know if you really hear me, but I believe you enjoy the calm of my voice. Once you penciled in the shape of a bush on the page, and I thought you'd found your calling again. But that was the only drawing you made. You watch a lot of television, not really taking it in, falling asleep most of the time. The remote is difficult to understand. Today we listened to your granddaughter singing in the broadcast of a concert, her voice soaring, a free spirit on the wing. Mothering. Your maternal instinct still makes you worry. Stroke my hand. Such a funny life, you say, forlorn in a careworn chair. There's nothing you can do. Comforted by my touch, you sometimes call me mother, drifting back in your mind. You forget I'm there as I cream your face, brush your hair. And this is the last poem. Helpless. When I'm not there, you call my name over and over, willing me to appear. But on seeing me, you ask, is that really you? As if I were some fleeting ghost, conjured up by your mind to ease your solitude. The weight of your crying saddens me. I'd love to make it better with a kiss, like you did when I was young. I hold your hand, calm your trembling self.